saying this, we have to think about today, and we have to give consideration to the future of Rockdale County. Whether it's this board or the future board, something's going to have to happen. That means people got to talk. People got to communicate. I'm going to stop there. We got a busy meeting here.
Yes, sir. Next item is RZ 24-17. The applicant is Inline Community. Subject property is 320, 460, and 470 Honey Creek Road. The applicant has a case before you, this application before you this evening to rezone 285.68 acres from agricultural residential to CRS collaborative residential for the development of a single-family detached residential development for a total of 318 units. This is the subject property. The property has frontage along Honey Creek Road, and I'm sorry, I cannot remember to read the last part. Good Road, please. Next is the current zoning map. Again, the subject property is zoned agricultural residential. This is the future land use map. Future land use map is medium density residential. This is the proposed site plan the applicant submitted for consideration. Just to highlight a few areas of note, the applicant is looking to develop 3 different styles of lots. The one lot in red, those is 100-foot wide lots. Minimum lot sizes will be 22,000 square feet. The lots located in yellow, those are 100 feet long wide lots as well, but the minimum lot sizes for those will be 14,000 square feet, while the lots highlighted in gray, those would be 80 feet wide lots. Minimum lot size for those is 11,360 square feet. The proposed density would be at 1.3 units per acre. The future land use map, again, just to highlight, medium density allows for 2 to 4 units per acre. Also wanted to note that the total conservation for the conservation acreage for this project will be 42.1 acres. Secondary conservation area for this project will be 61.42 acres for secondary, and for a total for additional green space will be 12.21 acres of green space. With all our applications, staff has asked for external reviews to provide their comments. The comments of note that staff wants to point out from the Water Resources Department, the nearest basin, Honey Creek, does not have the sewer capacity for this project, so the applicant would have to pump to the Snapping Shoals sewer basin. So if I can go back, so instead of going south, they would have to go north and east, east across to that basin, which is the Snapping Shoals sewer basin. So Water Resources indicated that they have the capacity for this project, while the Honey Creek does not have the capacity for this project.
And that would be at the cost of the developer.
I did not know, and I did not get into the specific details.
The county's not going to do that.
So again, so transportation did indicate that streetlights and traffic calming are required for all new developments for this. So therefore, the staff did recommend approval of this project, and the applicant is here I'm sorry, I apologize, I jumped ahead. The Planning Commission recommended denial of this project. The Planning Commission highlighted 2 areas of concerns. One is the incompatibility of adjacent residential lots and burden that would be on the existing streets.
Okay, Commissioner Weston.
So have we addressed, or do we have a plan to address the conditions of the road that was giving the roads the ratings that they were at before?
Yeah, from the previous one, yes, but not for this. And again, I apologize. I forgot to mention. So this site plan is a revised site plan from the original one that the Planning Commission saw. There is a plan to address it, but that would require a new traffic study, which the applicant has indicated they will provide.
So we don't know what the plan to address it is?
It would be addressed in the traffic study.
And that traffic study will be available before December 10th?
I highly doubt that.
Okay, well, then that puts a burden on the decision made by this,
Sure.
that's to be made by this board. Because
Because this was originally our biggest reason for denying was the traffic and the plight of the road. So without knowing how this is going to affect the traffic, I don't see how we could get around that and just say, yes, we'll take the development, and we know that there's a problem with the road. So
is the applicant here?
I believe so.
Let's hear from the applicant, because Commissioner Washington is spot on. We talked about this, and we're running out of time.
Kenneth Wood, 350 Research Court. I'm going to kind of walk through why this project is different. We do have a traffic study. It was submitted at the 380 lots. We submitted a couple of days ago the revised trip generation, and I can walk you guys through exactly the traffic improvements that we're going to do on this. The exact
Walk
traffic
us through it.
improvement. The revised trip gen? Either yesterday or the day before. But I'll make sure you got it. They just finished it. But it's I know what it says.
Hey, so Director Wheeler, is there something you need to let us know? Come on up and talk to us.
So I was just made aware it was submitted to me yesterday, so I
So
haven't.
you've not reviewed it?
No, sir, I have not had transportation review it as well, too, so I will get with transportation right now.
So, look, come on back up. Listen. You submitted the paperwork on yesterday to our Planning and Development Department? Is that what you're telling me?
Once the lots were reduced, we have a traffic study.
No, sir.
Oh, yeah, yes, I
This is,
sent it back in.
come on up to the mic. This
Yeah.
is clear communication, and
Yes, I
a lot of
emailed back over.
a lot of the discipline that I'm doing right now can help you, but you got to be careful and listen to what I'm saying to you.
Sure, yeah,
I'm
yes, I
watching
emailed
the
it.
clock. Did you submit
Yes.
a new traffic study on yesterday?
The revised
The answer is
318 trip gen, yes.
Okay, stay right there.
Okay.
Did you turn it into our office on West Avenue?
No, I just emailed it to.
Okay. So in fairness to the department director, you have not officially handed it to their system, and he's not had an opportunity to review it. I've got to be fair in my internal operation as well.
Sure.
And, as much as we want to expedite on behalf of folks who are looking to do business with the county, we've got to follow the procedures here. So I'm going to yield and say this, Commissioners. Director Wheeler, what is your pleasure?
I will need to review it and then see if I can get a comment, a cursory review or some review from Director Kelly at this point in time. Don't know exactly what's the difference in it.
Okay, so here's what I'm gonna recommend. It's still business hours. It's 10 after 2. Go somewhere privately, get a hold of Director Kelly, and beam him up like Scotty. Get him in here.
Yes, sir.
Get him on the phone. Make a decision. We need to figure out what we're gonna do because we're running out of time. I wouldn't say another word if I were you. Ms. Denise, come on up. Let's get to another person. I would hold tight because this could work out in your favor, but if you say the wrong thing, it could blow up in a whole different kind of way because we're running out of time.
Understood.
Okay.
Did you want the people or in
Let's
opposition?
go ahead and hear from the people. Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Thank you.
so first speaker is Cheryl Moulton.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
As you all know, my name is Cheryl Moulton, and I have resided at 3305 Squire Lane for 34 years. This is the back side of my property, at the toe of the lake. Today, I respectfully stand before you all in opposition of this rezoning project. The planning department gave approval. Originally, they gave a denial. They came down on their lots, so now they're approving it with conditions. Our concern is that dam. Yesterday, you probably read a story about Lake Dow, how the Homeowners Association of 30 years now sent the homeowners a $29,000 bill per acre that they're going to owe to repair their dam. That cost to them is $8 million. I have been communicating with the developer, and from what I understand, this dam repair that has not been touched since D.R. Horton had the submittal is $3 million. Not that much difference. This is a 25-acre lake. The Planning and Zoning Commission recommended denial on their staff report per Stormwater Department. As Chris iterated, the sewer is not available on site and would have to be pumped all the way up to Ralph Road, 2 miles away, uphill to the Snap and Shoal Sewer Basin because Honey Creek is not available. The zoning of this 285 acres from AR to CRS would be a deafening bottleneck to the traffic, as we've already discussed, to a 3-mile area of our already congested 2-lane roads, placing 1,200 cars per trip, leave in, come back home. Only one car would be 1,200 trips. So double that, because you're gonna leave twice and come back. If you have school children, you're gonna pick them up, you're gonna go to the store, you're gonna go run errands. So you might as well say 4,800 times on Honey Creek alone. There's 3 entrances on Honey Creek and 1 from Good Road. As Miss Washington stated, those roads are crumbling and they're in dire need of repair. That's the side the dam is on. The 25-acre lake holds over 7 million gallons of water, which 1 acre of water covers a football field at 1 foot deep if that dam ever broke. As you know, Squire Lane washed out in the last 100-year flood in 2019. It took 3 years to repair and open December of 2022. We like having 2 ways in, 2 ways out to our subdivision. If that dam breaks, it would flood out Good Road, Ebenezer Road, Honey Creek Golf Community, down to Troop Smith, and flows to the monastery. Even at 318 houses, we would like a little bit more of a lower house count to cut back on traffic, to cut back on impact, and that we request as our community, because that's in a FEMA floodplain, once it leaves the dam and the tows that floods all the way downhill, we request that you put a condition that that dam is repaired prior to any development. You're going to have impacts of deliveries, trusses, trucks, logging trucks. That's 284 acres. That is the biggest stock, I hate to sound silly, of loblolly pines, and we've got the biggest stock of white-tailed deer that come up in my backyard and eat. I ask that you oppose this, either defer it, see if we can't work a little bit further on a house count that we're satisfied with, the traffic report, and the new dam report that was just done that we still have not seen.
Ms. Moulton, what would be your recommendation on a house count? Let me hear that number.
It's 284 acres, so right now we're zoned R1. Behind it on
ma'am.
Squire Lane, I believe Honey Creek is R1 as well. Good Road is R1.
What's your number?
My number, you got to minus out the 25-acre lake. You got to minus out the 75-foot buffer.
I just need a number.
I'm thinking of a number. 7, right? 7, 13 is a magic number. From 318, 200 would be fair. 250 would be fair. Miss Williams had commented when D.R. Horton was in that said this is a beautiful piece of property.
It is.
It's a stately.
Let me say this, Ms. Moulton, and first of all, thank you, and I think you did a great job articulating your message and representing your community. You brought out a lot of very valid points. A lot of those points, the three of us are keenly aware of already.
Yes.
We're very, very aware of those. One of the reasons I asked, I wasn't just asking for your number just to be asking. I think in the spirit of communication, the developers need to hear what the community is thinking. So I also encourage you, because you did a great job and everything you said is very valid, and I hear you loud. We hear you loud and clear. But there's an opportunity for you to speak with the developer at the appropriate time as we move the clock toward December 10th. Commissioner Washington?
Let me just say, I do speak with Brian
Okay.
from Inline.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'm going to keep it moving. Tell me where we are. Commissioner Washington, did you have something additional from Ms. Moulton? Okay.
Yes, sir. So we did speak to Director Kelly, and Director Kelly is having any concerns regarding the layout of the development. He just asked for enough setback for the actual housing, because he does plan on doing some improvements to Honey Creek Road. That's part of the transportation plan. But other than that, he didn't have any major concerns
What
regarding the
about
project.
Gould Road? Gould Road was the one that had the biggest concern.
Okay, well, that's okay, understand.
So here's what we thank you, Commissioner. Here's what we're going to do. When you take your seat again, Director Wheeler, make sure you or one of your team, go ahead and send Director Kelly a text message or something. He needs to, what he said to you verbally, he's the Director of Transportation. So he needs to put that in writing. He needs to send you an email saying such.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Understood.
I'm clear on that now, because, and the reason I'm documenting this, because I don't know what's going to happen here. I don't know what's going to happen between now and the 10th. I don't have a crystal ball.
No, yes, sir. No, I mean, anytime I do talk to any other departments, we do ask for it to be put in writing. So
Yes, sir.
therefore, you're not taking our word for it, but you're taking the word for it. That's part of our technical review sheets.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I would ask that you also ask him to include the plan for Good Road.
Yes, ma'am. No,
So
I
that-
will ask and
So
for him
that
to
we
put in
know
writing
both.
Thank you,
Honey
Commissioner.
Creek and
You're
Good
absolutely
Road as
correct.
well, too. Yep.
All right.
My biggest issue, like Ms. Moulton said, is that dam. Right now, from what I understand, the current owners are not in a position to provide almost $3 million to repair the dam. That's not county property. So we wouldn't, that's not anything that we could repair. So unless we do something that can help repair the dam, just like you said, everything that you said is vulnerable to that dam being broken, and we know it's in disrepair. So that's another thing that we had to keep into consideration when we talk about improvements. That's not our dam, and we wouldn't be able to fix it if something were to happen, because we don't have the rights to fix it. So what I would be amenable to making that a condition upon approval, if we approve, that before they can pull building permits, they would have to fix the dam. So that would be one of the things that I would think about. That would be my concern and issue.
Thank you, Commissioner. Director, where are we at this point?
We still have public comment cards for people to speak.
Okay, and I'm going to also afford the opportunity for the developer to come back up. But go ahead with the public comment cards.
Next speaker, Norman Stanley Hill.
Mr. Hill, come on up, sir.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for letting me come before you and voice my concern about the Honey Creek Road, Cowan property. My name is Stan Hill. As I said, I reside at 490 Honey Creek Road, on about 1.3 acres adjoining the Cowan property on the backside of my lot. I am here to voice my opposition to the proposed subdivision on the Cowan property. I, like many others that had come before you, opposed to this bill. My wife's grandparents built the house that we live in now for about 40 years. They built it in 1931 and resided in it for 55 years, so the home is now nearly 100 years old. So mentioning that is to let you know that we have history with Rockdale County and with Honey Creek Road area and the Cowan property. We decided to move into this home because of family history, a rural area setting, and no homes that would be behind us. We get to enjoy the various wildlife that cross our property, deer, raccoon, rabbits, and birds of all kinds, of which we care for by having feeders for them animals. Gosh, we got probably 12, 15 bird feeders and bird houses. And with this build behind us, that would virtually make these animals and birds disappear. I'm condensing my talk down a little bit because Mrs. Moulton has hit on a couple of items. I don't want to explain the color of a banana again.
Thank you, Senator.
There are 3 homes within a half a mile of us down on Honey Creek Road that is new homes that have been built. It's on the corner of Honey Creek Road and Troop Smith Road, across from the Cowan property, where they propose to have entrances into that Cowan property if the subdivision comes about. And these 3 homes are selling between $522,000 and $575,000. 3 homes, Honey Creek, number 121, 123, and 125 Honey Creek Road. They've been on the market for a good while. 121, house number 121 has been on the market for 90 days. 123 has been on the market for 103. And 125 has been on the market for 245 days and have not sold. So that's kind of leading back to the Cowan property. With these homes in this price range, and as I understand it, with the new count of 318 on the Cowan property, they would fall in line with about that same price of home. So it would be a concern to me that they could sell them, my opinion. Actually, these 3 new homes have 2 acres each. That's one home on 2 acres each. One last thing, I concur with Mrs. Moulton on the amount of homes on the Cowan property proposed. I would say that 200 would be a fair number. And that's all I have. Thank you
I
for
appreciate your time and you coming out, and I also appreciate you sharing the history of your family and
Yes.
your wife's grandparents and the property. That matters a lot to Rockdale County. Absolutely. Thank you so much.